This video is going to be about your final writing assignment for Bio 100. So this is going to serve as our final exam, basically, and it is a writing assignment. So let me show you on Blackboard how to get there, first of all. So if you go over to the online assignments for spring 2020, you just click there and it brings you to this page where you've been going to get all of your assignments since we've gone virtual. So then scroll down to the very bottom and we're just going to go over, what's written here, what the expectations are. I'm going to show you guys the rubrics that I'm going to use when grading your paper, and then we'll also run through the supplemental information that you definitely will want to use to help support yourself in this paper. All right, so for the point total, this is going to be a 100-point assignment. Originally, our finals are always 150 points, but I increased the point totals for the other writing assignments that you've done since we've gone to online instruction. So it is going to be 100. So same point total value as your critical thinking paper, basically. All right, so I want you to know that the due date for this is Wednesday, May 13th by 6 p.m. And there are absolutely no exceptions. I know I've been really flexible with due dates, but this is your final exam. And I do have to get the grades entered, and then they have to go through the system, and then we all move on with life. Um, so Wednesday the 13th by 6 p.m., no exception. So plan ahead. You've got a couple weeks. So if you know that you've had Wi-Fi issues, be sure that when you are wanting to work on this or submit this, that you are somewhere where you've got good Wi-Fi. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to be writing an essay with the goal of convincing someone who thinks that species don't change or evolve over time that this is actually a misconception from a scientific perspective. Okay, it is okay if you don't believe in the theory of evolution. That's not what this is about. This isn't about me trying to get you to, betray beliefs or anything like that at all. The goal is that after going through chapter 14, 15, and 16, which all is from a scientific standpoint, providing support and evidence in support of the theory of evolution. And that's all that this is asking you to do, is to just use the information that you've learned and been presented with to come up with an essay that is going to support that someone who's trying to argue from a scientific point of view that species don't change over time is probably incorrect, whether or not that is truly what you believe or not. All right, so I just wanted to get that out of the way. If you have any questions or any issues at all about that, please do not hesitate to let me know, and we can figure out a way to make this work for you. All right, so going back to what was written there, so some people think that a change in the gene frequency of a population from one generation to the next, which is known as microevolution, doesn't happen, and that the formation of new species from existing species, which is known as macroevolution, has never occurred. After completing the reading and assignments for chapters 14 through 16 over the last couple weeks, you're going to write an essay based on what you've learned from these chapters to convince someone who doesn't share the scientific perspective on the concept of evolution that there are facts and data that are supporting the scientific theory of evolution. All right, so different things to be sure that you are including in this assignment is to state very clearly upfront what is the misconception that you are trying to refute, which is that, evolution does not occur. Microevolution and macroevolution does not occur. That is basically the misconception that you guys are trying to remedy in this particular assignment. So then you're going to include several specific facts, details, reasons, or examples that show or demonstrate why the misconception is inaccurate from a scientific perspective. Hey, this could be anything. It could be something that you learned in one of the videos that you watched. It could be something that you got from your textbook or an example from one of the supplemental items. There are so many items available on this topic out there. And what I'm wanting you to do is to show me that you know how to use them in support of the scientific theory of evolution. All right, then you guys are going to explain how evolution can be described as descent with modification. I talked about that in the chapter 16 topics video. It's mentioned throughout the text in chapter 16, and there's even an example, I believe, with horses going through their family tree and how horses originally had 4 toes, and now they just have like the one main hoof, which actually was a toe. So find examples to just describe that. And then you're also coming up with anything that stood out to you from a video, like a fact or something that you read, something that you'll find in one of the supplemental items, just to demonstrate the difference in macro and micro evolution. And then try and have kind of a logical order to your paper. Take time to craft your paper. This is your final assignment. This is basically your last chance to show me what you learned about the topic of evolution in this class. Definitely try and pepper your paper with the language that you guys were exposed to with these chapters. So use natural selection, maybe talk about genetic drift, all of those good things. All right, be sure that you proofread your paper. You are, going to be graded on whether there are errors in your paper. If you give me like a day in advance, I am happy to proofread that for you. Um, just let me know. I want to help you as much as I can from virtually far away. Okay, let's see. So how long does it have to be? 2 full pages, 12-point font, single spacing. There is a lot of information that you guys can use in this paper, and I'm really wanting you to show me that you know how to think through this and support the theory of evolution using biological scientific facts. All right, another item which is also kind of tacked onto this is that I think the evaluations for the course are now available. I would encourage you to please, I think they modified the questions to reflect that the last part of the semester was on a virtual online format. If there's something that you liked about the way we did this course when we had to go online, please let me know. Let me know what worked for you. Also, if there's something that you hated, something that didn't help you at all, let me know that as well, just in case we are in this situation again for future students. Help me help them. All right, going back up to, I went way too far. Let's check out the rubric. So this is what I will have with me whenever I am grading your papers. So of course it's sideways, but you can see the different criteria. So the claim, so what claim are you trying to support? What are you trying to refute? And then there are criteria listed in there. So maybe you didn't explain either claim clearly. Then there's evidence. So I'm giving you guys a lot of evidence in the supplemental information, and then there's so much evidence in your textbook that you need to be using to support descent with modification. So as long as you are doing all of that, you're showing examples and facts that support this scientific theory, then you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Oh, and it looks like for some reason this page is blank. Gotta love Blackboard sometimes. I think I know what the problem is. Yep, there's the second page. All right, I just didn't open it from the right place on Blackboard. I apologize for that. All right, so then mechanics. So are you able to effectively explain yourself? Is your writing making sense? Is it coherent? Is it cohesive? Is it telling a clear story? You're also going to have part of your grade determined by whether you are using the scientific language that you guys have learned throughout those two chapters. So look at that on your own. Have that with you while you're writing your paper. Make sure that when you are, writing your paragraphs, that you are reading what's expected in Proficient, because that is what I'm going to be using whenever I am reading your papers. All right, so that is the rubric. The last thing I want to do is check out some of the supplemental information at some point. All right, so in addition to your book, I'm giving you links to some other websites that I thought were really helpful in giving you information to support the theory of evolution. I also have some videos. So those ones that we've been watching in class, like the rock pocket mouse, the one that you are going to watch with chapter 16, which is the origin of tetrapods or four-legged animals. You guys next week, or if you're feeling like you want to just go ahead and get everything done, you can totally do that. Go ahead and watch Making of a Theory, which talks about the discovery of Charles Darwin and Alfred Wallace and natural selection. All of those videos have information in them that you can use. If you want some different examples to support the theory of evolution, if you don't really like the tetrapods or something like that, you can look at the origin of birds. They have a video explaining how birds arose from reptiles. And then you also, if you want to, you can learn about our own evolution. So how do you go from being just a regular average tetrapod to being a human, a Homo sapien? So those videos are all going to be helpful. I would watch all of them, take notes, and write down the things that you want to use in support of your ideas that you're wanting to explain as you're kind of supporting the theory of evolution. Again, if that is something that is against your beliefs, and you don't feel like you could do this effectively, please let me know. We will come up with a way to get this assignment to work for you. So please don't be afraid that you're going to offend anyone, and just let me know. All right, if you guys have any questions, please, I would encourage you to get started on this earlier rather than later. That way you're not running into problems at 11 p.m. the night that it's due, because the odds are, I mean, I'm probably in bed asleep and I'm not going to see your email until later. And so please be proactive. And I hope you enjoy this assignment. So if you guys have any questions, contact me.